What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. All right, so I'm going to have some fun with this one because these are names that we came up with in terms of a tournament. And this is out the female fighters and who we think would win. We can take this whole list and scramble it up. And actually, how I did it was basically just on their names. I just went with, I tried to match them up without purposely matching them up. Ironically, out of this whole list, you have fighters that, well, two fighters that fought each other, which is what I wanted to avoid, but I said, we'll do it anyway. Okay, so on this list of names, we have Hannah Gabriels. I didn't want to put Hannah Gabriel, well, not Hannah Gabriels. I didn't want to put I didn't really want to put Alicia Baumgardner on here. I didn't really want to put Christy Martin on here, and I didn't want to put, really those two. And I didn't want to put Katie Taylor on here as well. I didn't want to put them on here. Okay, but there's people that think Katie Taylor could hold her own at 160. There's people that say that they think that Alicia Baumgardner could. Okay, so my thing is, we're talking about fighters that can fight at 160 or 168. I don't see Katie Taylor or Alicia Baumgardner or Christy Martin doing that for that matter. But okay, it is what it is. So I'm going to give you this tournament as it is. Okay. The first fight, Hannah Gabriels versus Katie Taylor. Now, I feel like Hannah Gabriels is a skillful fighter, so is Katie Taylor. Katie's not a big puncher, but she's good at getting in and out, controlling the distance, dictating the pace. Hannah Gabriels, she also can fight at a faster pace, but she's stronger than Katie Taylor. And I think that the way Katie fights, Hannah's not going to back up. Hannah's going to come at her, and Katie can move. Now, mind you, anytime I compare fighters, I always compare them when they're at their best. So, I'm looking at what you did in your best performance. Okay, I'm looking at the better years for each fighter. I'm not looking at a decline, any of that. I'm looking at, okay, when you were peaked at your best. So, I think that Katie Taylor would have to fight that style of hidden move because she's just not strong enough to hurt Hannah Gabriels, and Hannah's going to come forward. She's going to give a different look. She's going to come in smart. She's a very smart fighter. And I just don't think that Katie Taylor has the size and the strength to really effectively keep Hannah off. And I feel like she's going to be more tired than she really need to be because she's going to have to fight at a pace where, it's not going to favor her to try to fight more flat-footed, even with just lateral movement, because Hannah Gabriels is every bit as smart as Katie Taylor. Katie probably have a hand speed advantage, but I don't really think it really matters too much. And I feel like when she feels Hannah Gabriel's shots, she's going to know, okay, I have to move on that. But again, Gabriels is not a stupid fighter, so she's going to be on top of her. And I just think that Hannah Gabriel, being naturally bigger, naturally a lot stronger, I just think that it's too much for Hannah Gabriels. So I give Too much for Katie Taylor. So I give Gabriels the win in that. And that's why I said there's 3 people on here I really don't want to put on this list because their size is gonna play a difference. But like I said, people thought that they belong here. Okay. So I give Hannah Gabriels the win over Katie Taylor. The next fight is Alicia Baumgardner versus Christy Martin. Now, I think that Alicia Baumgardner she's more tactical than Christy Martin. Christy Martin is a boxer. She's busy. She stays behind her jab, but she comes in and she does trade. But she throws a lot of wide shots. And the thing about Christy Martin is she makes the fight harder for herself than it needs to be because she just goes for the kill. But she's not that fast, and she's very easy to hit. I believe that Alicia Baumgardner would be smart enough to move when she needs to. I think when Christy Martin feels that, okay, she can crack, I need to be more careful with my approach, be more defensive minded. And I think that Alicia Baumgardner can keep the right distance that she needs, come in when she needs to, but Christy's going to try and trade when she have to. But Christy's there to be hit. I think she cuts Christy. I think she probably breaks her nose, bruise her face up really bad. And I believe that Baumgardner, even though she can punch, she's more of a boxer than a boxer-puncher. Stylistically, she's more of a boxer. She just happened to have a hard shot. Now, after watching the Narda fight, she looked sharp, and she was putting punches together. Like, I've been saying this for the longest, man. She just one punch. She has to start putting shots together. She was doing that. So that's the best I've seen her look so far, and is being a total package. So I do believe that Baumgardner would wind up not overwhelming Christy Martin with a lot of punches, but doing enough to where Christy gets reduced to trying to get busy when she slows down, but when she picks it up, she's landing the harder shots. Like, Christy might throw more punches, but her hair is being snapped back. The judges are seeing that, and it ends up being a situation where, as the rounds go on, Baumgardner is winning these rounds with cleaner shots, harder shots. The more, and I believe that gets the judges' attention, and also feel like this fight may be stopped by the referee, maybe to where it gets to a point where Baumgardner just landing clean shots on her. Maybe she hurts Christy, and instead of holding, which is something Christy didn't like to do, Christy was want to try to trade it. But she's getting hit with clean shots because she throws a lot of wild open shots. So it's possibly that this fight can get stopped. TKO, referee stops it, or Baumgardner winds up beating her off decision. So that's my pick on that. Baumgardner by TKO, referee stopping the fight, probably breaks Christy's nose or something. Like I said, she's just there to be hit. Or by decision, but either way, Baumgardner. Okay. Now, the next fight I have, like I said, I didn't pick these fights like I'm going to match this one. I wanted to do it where I'm getting people that never fought each other. And I did all the way until I got to one particular fight. But anyway, so we have Shadasia Green versus Layla Ali. Okay. I think that Layla Ali, bottom line, is just too much for Shadasia Green. That pretty much Shadasia just has no answers for anything. That pressure that Ali's going to bring. Ali can box, but she's a banger, man. She wants to mix it up. She will come in, jab, try to see where you're coming from, move her head a little, move, but it takes nothing for her to just all of a sudden she's engaging. Layla came to fight. She came to fight, man. She came forward more than she went backward, that's for sure. She was a banger, man. That's what she came to do. I just don't think Shadasia has anything for Ali. Like, she just doesn't have the answer to know how to slow it down. She tries to open up and slug with her, but she's getting beat to the punch. And I just think Ali pretty much shuts her out. And either she stops Shadasia Green or she wins by decision. Either way, I just don't think that Shadasia Green would even make it competitive. I think Ali completely just outclasses her. So I'm going to go with Layla Ali, unanimous decision over Shadasia Green. Now, I have Ann Wolfe versus Franchon Cruz Dezurn. Okay. Ann Wolfe can punch. Ann Wolfe was she was good at slip and throwing counters. She was good at that. She didn't really have footwork. She didn't really use footwork at all. She just was a stationary fighter. She got a tendency to get a little wild, throw wide shots. Ann Wolfe didn't have the best stamina. I've seen fights where she was by the fourth round already throwing shots, winging shots that were slow. You could telegraph them. As long as she was fresh, she looked good, but she got tired quick. Franchon Cruz Dezurn, as we know, can take a hell of a shot, and she keeps coming forward the whole fight. The type of pressure that she would bring to Ann Wolfe would have to really catch her solid, really catch her wide open, which is also something that Franchon Cruz Dezurn is known for doing. And we know that Ann Wolfe can punch. Now, I forget the lady's name, but the tall one that she dropped like one shot, and everybody always talks about that when they talk about Ann Wolfe. But it's more to it than that. And Franchon could take a punch. And Franchon, basically, she doesn't get discouraged to keep coming forward. And the thing is, even when Franchon gets tired, she just keeps coming. Now, Ann Wolfe, she'll keep coming as well. But I've also seen Ann Wolfe in fights where, even though she had the better skills, she struggled. Simply because her gas tank, she got tired very quick. And whenever she would recoup, she would just empty the tank again. And the thing was, it didn't take long. I think this is an ugly fight. They're both brawling, they're banging, they're just both going at it. And I think that as far as Ann Wolfe, like I said, she was good with slipping counters and everything. But I believe Franchon takes the shot. That's that Ann Wolfe lands. I think she takes the shot better than Ann Wolfe takes her shots, because I think this comes to a battle of attrition, and I just feel like it's an ugly fight. That Franchon just has a better gas tank. She's better at that type of style and not emptying her tank early than Wolfe is. So I think that it's just going to come down to that, and the fact that when Wolfe gets tired, she wings shots and leave herself open the same way Franchon does. But I think the difference in this fight is going to be who can just keep pushing that pace, and that's all Franchon knows. So I've seen Wolfe do both, but no matter what style, and when Wolfe tries to box, she's less effective. She's, trying to not get hit. She's moving, but she's not really landing anything. And that's the thing. She doesn't know how to transition off the back foot, pivots and all that, and land shots, throw combinations, moves. She just basically moves. And it's like she goes all offense or all defense. She doesn't really transition well with putting it together. And when she gets tired, she gets more defensive. But now it's, okay, I can hit you just as easy as you can hit me. And I think Franchon gas tank makes the difference. And I think that Franchon edges out a tough decision win. I'll say maybe a split decision or a majority decision win over Ann Wolfe, because she has a better gas tank and she's more accustomed to fighting that style without getting tired as fast as Ann Wolfe does. So I go with Franchon in that fight. Okay. So now, we're going to put in advancing Hannah Gabriels versus Alicia Baumgardner. Now, we haven't seen Alicia go up to even 140 yet. And one thing that I know is even when you can bang at the smaller divisions, when you're going up, and mind you, this is people that have fought like, up to 168 pounds. Like I said, we're not, and it's unfair to them. That's why I didn't want to put them in it, but people thought they belonged. So here we are. And so your power doesn't carry over to the point where you're knocking these big people out like that. This is what I feel. Okay, so we have Hannah Gabriels versus Baumgardner. Now, I think Baumgardner is a slick boxer. She's good. But I think that in terms of pressure, Gabriels brings pressure, but Gabriels also can take a punch. And she's used to being hit by people that hit a lot harder, much bigger than Alicia Baumgardner, which means she does not really worry about Baumgardner's power. So I think that she's smart enough to understand that Baumgardner is more uncomfortable when you press her. One thing we've seen with Baumgardner, and that fight with Lenarda too as well, she knew when to take her foot off the gas. She knew when to put her foot on the gas. But I believe Gabriels and her team also understands we have to push Baumgardner. We're not going to let her box and think. Baumgardner, she likes to be a strategic fighter, but Gabriels is a quicker thinker. You see, and she's going to push the fight. Okay, she's going to push it. And what advantages that Baumgardner had over other fighters and being better than other fighters at the smaller weights, it's going to be different now. And she's going to have to box. She's going to have to be smart and wise. But Gabriels, pound for pound, matching her up with Baumgardner, she's every bit as good. She's every bit as good. So now there's no power advantage, and there's no I'm bigger than these girls or whatever. And not that she has any unfair advantage at the smaller weight classes, okay? But saying now those strengths that she had, she don't have them now. So here's a situation where she's going to have to depend on pinpoint accuracy in defense, where she's making Hannah Gabriels clearly miss shots, and she's landing clean shots. And I don't think her coming up that much weight is going to be effective. I just think it'll be more of a situation that she's holding her own, but she's just getting outpointed because Gabriels won't stop coming. And she's getting caught with shots, clearly. And when she gets tired, Gabriels is going to push. And it's going to show that the work rate is too much. And I believe Hannah Gabriels being bigger, naturally, and fighting bigger, stronger people, and now she's in here with someone that they put the weight on. She came in my size, but, I don't feel it like I do with the naturally bigger girls. I think that Gabriels, she beats Baumgardner. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. That was the next one. Doesn't matter. Before that was Shields versus Marshall. They fought already. That's the one fight when I'm like, I didn't want to match them. That's just the way it worked out. Of course, I'm going with Shields. We already saw what happened. Shields. So, Shields all day. Now, Shields beats Marshall. So, Gabriels versus Baumgardner would have been afterwards. Okay, so now we have Gabriels versus Shields, which is another fight that already happened. So, okay, you already know who I'm going with that one. Okay, same way she beat it last time, she beat it again. But again, even though still matching them at prime time. So forget the first fight even happened, but we know it happened. So we know the outcome. I'm going with Shields in that. Now, the next fight is Layla Ali versus Franchon. And I think this is an interesting fight for this reason. Layla, I think people look at her looks and unless you really remember, they don't really understand. Layla had dog in her, man. Layla really came to bang with you. Layla didn't really come to box, man. She moved her head. She mixed it up, but the majority of her fight, she was coming forward, throwing bombs at you. So that's the way Franchon fights. That's all Franchon knows. The difference I feel with Layla versus Franchon would be Layla's hand speed. She's faster. She's going to beat it to the punch. And also, Layla knew if she had to depend on boxing, sticking, and moving, that she could. Franchon doesn't fight that way. She's not effective at that, which means she has that one-dimensional style. So she can't do anything different. So if Layla has to get on the back foot, work off her jab, throw a quick combination, keep moving, make Franchon just follow her around, because Franchon doesn't know how to cut her ring off either. She just pretty much is going to just follow you, but she'll come, but she comes in carelessly, which means Layla will counter her, land shots, and clearly, build up a lead where Franchon needs a knockout to win. And she's just going to get caught. And also what's going to happen is when Layla does catch her with a clean flush shot, she's going to push to come forward again. And Franchon is going to be coming forward as well. And she's going to be getting beat to the punch. That being said, I think Layla Ali wins the unanimous decision over Franchon. Which leads to the last two standing. Okay. We're talking Layla Ali versus Claressa Shields. Now, I'm being 1,000% honest about everything I say. Okay, it's just the way I see it. I cannot pick a clear winner between Shields and Layla. I just think that whoever wins this fight is going to win by split decision. See, to compare them, Shields is cleaner. She's sharper. Shields is more cerebral with how she's going to attack, win, counter, step back, pull, counter. She's more Mayweather style. She's more, cerebral with it like that. Layla is more of a throwback type, Riddick Bowish type, I'm going to throw my jab, keep it long and come in with the long shots. That's how Layla came in. She come in and she's coming in with, and she's pushing back, and Layla would come forward. She tucked her chin. She came to bang. I don't really know that Shields has a real hand speed advantage, but I do know she throws cleaner shots. She's more cerebral with how she pick her spots. Layla was about hand speed and pressure. And Layla was also smart to know when she needed to do something different, and her corner knew. Let's not forget, she had Roger Mayweather in the corner as well. She knew when to keep it long and jab, but she would work off of it. And the thing with Layla is she would give you this false sense of thinking that she's just going to keep moving and jabbing. Next thing you know, she's back on you again. And it was effective with the way she did it. She didn't give you a chance to really breathe. She didn't really give you a chance to think. And she came with that pressure. So Layla, and I say Riddick Bowe because she kind of reminded me, Bowe had that reach and size, but Bowe would get in there and bang too. But Ali had that in him as well. Her dad had that in him the same way. So I could even use her dad, for example. But Ali had that in him as well. If he needed to sit down on his shots and bang with you, he would. But that's what Layla did. I just don't see a clear winner. You know, and Shields also knows Shields is not gonna, she's not gonna like back off. She'll do what it takes to try to win the round and reassert herself into that round and to take the round back if she feel like you're starting to do good in the round. But Layla was just relentless, man. I don't think Layla had to worry too much about getting hurt by Shields. If anything, Shields had to be more careful of getting caught with a clean shot than Layla did. But it's more of a who can avoid the cleaner shots, because when the judges see your head snapping back, okay, that's getting their attention more than just getting touched with a shot. I'm not saying that they should overlook. A punch landed is a punch landed to the head or the body, okay? But I just think with Layla's type of pressure, Claressa is not willing to just get on the back foot and stay on the back foot. She'll get on the back foot, but she'll box and move, and she slips shots well. She works off the counter very well. But Layla's kind of pressure, it wasn't sloppy pressure. It was controlled aggression. And I believe she's going to push Claressa and make Claressa fight harder than she wants to, or than she needs to, rather, because Claressa will do whatever she has to do. And it's just going to come down to who's not getting hit with the cleaner shots that's going to get the judge's attention. So I really just cannot pick a clear winner between the two. I always said from day one, I think they both have the ability to beat each other. They both would have to be at their best to beat the other. And I just can't pick a clear winner. And that's the only two people on this list that I could match up that I can't pick a clear winner against. So, I mean, either way, Layla by split decision, Shields by split decision. I can't pick a clear winner between the two of them. Like, I don't feel, what I'm saying is, this is not I don't want to pick, no, I just don't feel either one got a clear advantage over the other. Now, that being said, let me do this. I said I didn't want to match up Katie Taylor or Christy Martin with, I didn't even want to put them on this list. Now, I put Christy Martin on the list too because Christy did fight against Layla and she got destroyed. Just too small. And she wasn't as good as Layla, but she was too small. Okay. Now, Hannah Gabriels is more like a fight I could see with Baumgardner in, which I put her against Katie. So let me do it this way. I gave you that. So, like I said, I can't pick a clear one between Shields and Ali, but right now we have Katie Taylor that's active and we have Baumgardner. So I would say, I think if Baumgardner and Katie Taylor was the fight, I don't see Katie Taylor right now as being the same fighter she was. She doesn't move like she used to. Her legs can't get her in and out. Now, however, she eventually lost to Cameron and got a belt back, and she showed that she can use the lateral movement and you know, work off of her jab and her combinations. Okay, bottom line, this is what I think. Because like I said, I'm only comparing people at their best. And right now, Baumgardner looked her best against Lenarda 2 in the rematch. I think Katie Taylor at her best against Baumgardner. I think the earlier rounds could go back and forth. And I think even if Katie Taylor is winning the majority, let's just say 1 through 5, just say, or it may split the rounds back and forth. I think that she feels at some point in that fight, she feels Baumgardner's power. And she's not scared to come in. It's going to cause her to fight with that in and out style and just try to be faster than Baumgardner, because that's what Katie always did. She's not the biggest puncher, but she definitely relied on her speed, her legs to get her in and out, throw her combinations. She comes in punching, she goes out punching. And then she doesn't give you a clear look when she's coming in. But I think Baumgardner would start to chip away, start to bruise her up, make her bleed, swell her up. I think she gets to a point where she gets caught with shots coming in, and her momentum makes the shot feel even harder. She starts to try to be a little more careful, but she gets hurt. I think Baumgardner hurts in that fight, and I think it gets to a point where she's moving, she's coming in and she's coming out, but she's not really landing a lot of those shots. And I think Baumgardner starts to even the scorecards up, but she's landing the hard punches. And it's clear that she's not only hitting Katie Taylor, but she's hurting her. And I feel like between the two of them, Baumgardner may walk away from that fight, split decision, majority decision. And see, the thing about it is these fights, you never know what's going to happen. But I'm going to go with that scenario. Okay. Now, if I was to put Christy Martin against Baumgardner, I would go with Baumgardner because I feel like similar to the Hannah Gabriels situation, but I think because Christy Martin was so easy to hit, Christy started out boxing, moving her head, and but she just couldn't resist, man. And at some point, she's going to just start swinging. And that's what she did. But she was there to be hit. And I just think that Baumgardner is smart enough and fast enough to know how to, when to switch it on. I just think she catches Christy Martin with clean shots. And Christy had the heart of a lion. So Christy's going to want to get her hit back, and she's going to want to get them licks in. And I just think that Baumgardner's going to smarten up, make her miss, make her pay. She's going to chip away, catch her with shots she don't expect to see coming in. And I think that she basically gets to the point where, same thing, she cuts her up, probably break her nose, same way, I think maybe the ref may end up stopping that fight, or Baumgardner winds up doing enough to get a decision win, where she, just basically goes in and wins, and she landing on harder, cleaner shots. So I go with Baumgardner in that scenario, because I don't really want to put them in there against these big, So I'm trying to just get rid of them, get the little small ones. I don't want to put Katie in any of them. The same fate that Christy Martin faced against Layla. That's what I'm saying. Baumgardner, same situation. She's not gonna, the only one that I will put in, and I can't take Hannah Gabriels out because she went all the way up to heavyweight in the females, so I can't take her out of it. So, but Gabriels, Katie Taylor and Baumgardner, I didn't want to put them in the first place. Okay, so now let me get them out the way. I'm not comparing them to anybody else, but the tournament's over. Like I said, it came down to Layla versus Shields, and I just can't pick a clear winner between the two of them. So let's say, okay, so we know in real life, actual Franchon just beat Dezurn, so there's no need to compare them. Shields beat Franchon, and Marshall beat Franchon, so no need to compare them. Yeah, I didn't want to put anybody that fought each other already. Let's do Marshall versus Ann Wolfe. Now, Marshall versus Ann Wolfe. Okay. Again, the tall woman that Ann Wolfe knocked out, people go by that like that was the only thing she ever did in her career. I watched a lot of Ann Wolfe, so I know what she was capable of, and I know what her weaknesses were as well. This is what I'm going to say as far as that goes. Her versus I can pull it up to get the woman's name. It's not important though. But Ann Wolfe versus Savannah Marshall. Okay, Savannah is much longer, rangier. Depending on if Ann Wolfe decides to be more slick and box in the earlier rounds, you might have a competitive boxing match until they both get heated up and start to just make it a war. And I say that because Savannah fights everybody the same way. Jabs, feinting, the upper body movement, try to lure you in and throw that lean uppercut. And I feel like Ann Wolfe, she had the same type of smarts in that sense as far as boxing IQ as Marshall did. What works against Ann Wolfe is, again, Ann Wolfe was more effective when she banged with you. The problem is Ann Wolfe got tired so damn fast, which means if she's going to beat Marshall, I think she has to knock Marshall out. I think she has to knock Marshall out. Because if she doesn't and she's getting tired, Marshall is going to keep coming forward and start putting pressure on, and she's going to land punches. And not only is she landing punches, but Wolfe looks bad throwing sluggish, slow punches and missing. She throws shots wide, and you can see it coming. And I think that between the two of them, now, if you don't remember, okay, go back and watch Ann Wolfe fight. You'll see exactly what I mean. If Ann Wolfe, and there's the reason I said if she decided to box and throw shots, slip counters, and and if she lands something significant where Marshall feels her power and knows, okay, this woman can crack, I better be careful. If not, and Marshall decides, I'm going to keep coming and doing my typical styling, I don't think it's as easy a win for Wolfe as people think. I know a lot of people will say, Wolfe all day, but Wolfe didn't have any footwork. And basically, all her slipping ability was upper body, just slide, counter. And she squared up a lot. And I just think Marshall, with her height and her reach, stylistically, she makes it difficult for Wolfe because she's coming to her, even though she's longer and rangier, but she's coming in behind a jab on top of that. So I think that it's a type of fight where Wolfe can match her all up until she starts to get tired. And she's getting hit more because now defensively, she's just open more. And she makes it easier for Marshall to keep it long and just keep popping her from the outside. And of course, that right hand is coming. You know the straight punch is coming. You know that eventually it's gonna. Now, if Marshall could get a little bit too brave and fight stupidly and run into something, and then Ann Wolfe knocks her out. They both have knockout power, but I think that's a fight. Honestly, it really depends on the smarts of Wolfe. Simply because Marshall fights everybody the same exact way. So Ann Wolfe, I've seen her in boxing mode, but she always, of course, she's going to try to knock you out. I just think stylistically it's a fight that it's a fight either woman can win. But this is where I'm going to go with Ann Wolfe. Because, and this is something Marshall has always done that it always irritates me when I watch her fight. Because Marshall, having a longer reach and the height advantage, still decides to go in for the kill when she can just stay behind the jab and work off that jab with the long punches. And when a fighter gets to the point where they're behind and they need to knock out the win, cause them to run into something. Instead, she just goes for it. And I believe in her going for it, she allows Wolfe to catch up with something that she shouldn't have got hit with. And she either gets the respect of Marshall to the point where it causes Marshall to either, one, fight off her ego, I want to get my lick back, or two, just decide to try to box and not go for the knockout, and she just feels super uncomfortable trying to do that and that alone. And she's limited in her offense because she's trying to be safe. It's not how Marshall fight. Marshall wants to knock you out. So I just think in that sense, that's where I'll pick Wolfe to win. So I'm going to go with Wolfe over Marshall. Now, who else can I compare on this list? Okay, we didn't get Shields versus Shadasia Green, but we've seen her fight Franchon. And I just think, again, it'll be another fight that Green just doesn't have the answers to slow Shields down. She don't know how to get the Shields. The rough housing tactics isn't working. She's getting beat to the punch, and Shields is beating her at her own game. She just doesn't have a high ring IQ. I think she just gets beat. Who else can I? Really. Yeah. Now, okay, let's do Wolfe versus Clarissa Shields. Okay, Shields is smart. She knows that Wolfe can punch. Whether she fell to the arm, she get hit to the face, head, whatever. She stays sharp. She gets in. She lands her shots. Wolfe can't catch her as clean as she would like to. I think Wolfe puts the pressure on her coming forward. I think Shields takes those back steps. She counters, catches her clean, and she gives her different looks. She gets in, and then she comes in to try to smother Shields. I think Shields just start unleashing combinations. She's beating it to the punch. Definitely winning rounds. Not close, even close in rounds. I think same thing. She comes in for the kill, and she's getting hit with clean shots. And I think that basically her style, being so sharp and so clean, offensively and defensively, I think that Wolfe, she can't outbox her, so she tries to come in with the power. And I think even when she tries to slip, move, and counter, Shields is just too sharp. She can't catch her the way she wants to, and she decides, I got to get her out of here. And that's just the way the fight goes. Similar to Shields and Marshall's real fight. But I think that Shields just outboxes her, outlands her, and she wins a unanimous decision. But I do think that it's a tough fight in the sense that Shields can't get comfortable in there. And basically, Wolfe never stops coming. But I think that Shields just completely outclasses her overall. And I think she wins a unanimous decision, but I think she wins this decision being careful the whole time. Understanding that this woman can punch, but I think Shields she's not worried about it. But she's not allowing her to land clean punches. But I think that and Wolfe will always have problems with someone that can move and punch and has a high ring IQ. You know, if we do Wolfe versus Layla, same thing. The only difference is Layla is going to come at you. And I think that Layla's style, she will cause Wolfe to get tired quicker. stylistically than Shields will, because Layla is going to come at you. And Wolfe's ego is going to make her decide she wants to try to bang. And she realizes she's getting beat to the punch. So even though she has a hard single punch, she doesn't throw combinations. You understand? She throws one punch at a time. She's not going to beat Layla like that. I think that Layla wears her out. And in fact, Layla may wind up stopping Ann Wolfe. I always thought she beat Ann Wolfe. And she probably stops Ann Wolfe. She probably stops her. Yeah, I just think, and stylistically, when you look at it, is what I'm saying, Clarissa's style is more cerebral in that sense. Like I said, she's more of a tactician, where Layla is a boxer puncher that comes in and she wants to overwhelm you. She wants to make you fight. She's going to push you. And I think that she winds up stopping Ann Wolfe. Probably a situation where she has in the corner teeing off on her and nothing's coming back. And Ann's trying to move and cover, but she's just getting caught. She's grabbing a lot, trying to get her bearings back because she just can't, get out of the way and avoid those punches. And I think the ref steps in, stops the fight. That's what I think. Okay, let's do Layla versus Savannah. I think that Layla's speed and the way she fights and the fact that she throws her punches straight down the pipe, and she likes to come forward a lot with that pressure. Savannah is a bit of a, she has that ego too of, I don't want to take a step back. I want to come forward. But she's getting beat to the punch by Layla. I think Layla, the same way that Clarissa shut her out like that and pretty much dominated, I think I see a fight with Savannah and Layla going similar to that. But Layla, I feel, would put more hurt on Marshall because she's going to make Marshall have to fight back. Marshall has the same situation as Wolfe in a sense. She doesn't fire back with combinations. She fire back with one punch at a time. And when she tries to load up, her feet have to be planted. You understand what I'm saying? And the fact is, I don't think her jab is going to be effective. It's just not going to be effective against Layla. Because even though Layla might jab in, once she gets in, the punches are just coming. And she pushes forward. Where Savannah likes to work off the jab and keep it smooth and roll up her body. But even when she's throwing that uppercut, the way Layla comes in, she's taking it, she's smothering it. She's not allowing Savannah to get it off. Savannah can't find the range she needs, and she starts to throw punches. She gets desperate, and she's trying to, what the hell? I'm just trying to get her off me, and she can't. And I believe that once Layla starts playing with her head, giving her different looks, and now she wants to lay back, work off the jab. Now Savannah wants to try to establish landing the jab. And as she's coming in, before you know it, Layla's right back on her. You understand? We've seen Franchon, Cruz Dezurn fight her that way, smothering her, but Franchon is slow. Franchon is easy to hit. You understand what I mean? And Franchon is not tactical at all. She just basically comes in I'm just going to catch you with something. I'm with constant punches, whereas Layla's coming in, and she's throwing fast, quick shots, and she's not giving you a chance to think about anything. So now here is, like I said, Marshall trying to find a distance that she needs, but she can't. So she ends up fighting in a style where it just becomes a brawl. Now, because Marshall is, let me say this too, okay? And I'm not saying that she can't punch, because she can. She is strong. The power is overrated, okay? The way the fans try to make it sound like if she just get knocked out, okay? She can punch, but it's all in a single shot. She doesn't throw lethal combinations, okay? And one thing we learned about Layla is not only can she take a punch, but Layla is even when she's tired, just like her dad, she just keeps fighting. You understand? And that's something that we were taught. You get tired, keep fighting, keep punching. He's tired too. But the thing is, Layla's gas tank was built different in that way too, because Layla was just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So Marshall gets to the point where she's needing for Layla to get tired, needing for Layla to slow down the pace so she can get started. Try to take advantage of those moments, but I just find her constantly trying to find the range, trying to get in her rhythm, and just can't. And she's just in the type of fight that she don't really want to have to be in because she can't land the shots that she needs to. And I just think Layla wins unanimous decision. So I don't think there's anybody else for me to match up on this list. I don't think so. Who didn't we do? Did we do Franchon versus Wolfe? Yeah, we did. I did that, yeah. And I went with Franchon on that one because I think Franchon just, gas tank. See, and that's the thing. Stylistically, now I went with Franchon to win against Wolfe because of the gas tank. Because they're so similar in the sense of coming in trying to get knockouts. And Wolfe is not effective as a boxer. You know, she needs to be a boxer puncher and let her hands go. But she only does that when she catch you not doing too much. But she gets tired too fast. She gets tired too fast. And see, even though Marshall likes to come forward, Marshall is a lot of slip move, and she actually uses her reach. She just likes to get, she likes to be active off her jab and come in. But for Marshall to be as tall as she is always in her ring, she's always taller and bigger than everybody. And I'm always trying to understand why she comes at close quarters to fight when she don't have to. So if it's about, I don't want the crowd to think I'm boring and I want to go for the knockout, that's where I think her downfall will come against somebody like Wolfe. But yeah, I don't think there's nobody else to compare up here. I mean, if we did Geeen versus Wolfe, I think Wolfe wins that fight because I think that Shadasia is just too green. Like, she just doesn't have the type of IQ that she needs to beat a top level female fighter. And I just think that Wolfe, the similarities that they have, Wolfe is just better than her at everything. Yeah, I just think she's better than her at everything. And it's just like, it will be two similar styles fighting, but one just smarter than the other. One that basically is more battle tested. And yeah, I would go with Wolfe over Geeen. And that about sums it up, y'all. So that's how I saw the tournament, and that's how I see these fighters if I was to match them up. And, well, I mean, yeah, we could actually do Geeen versus Hannah Gabriels. And I think between the two of them, I will go with Hannah. And I don't think Geeen beats any top elite female fighter right now. Watching her before she got in there with Franchon and seeing what she did with these other fighters, it just showed you in skill level, she just couldn't come up with anything. I think that Gabriels is just too smart overall. And I think that if Geeen can't get in, she doesn't know how to work her way in, set traps and all that. She's just a puncher that, she can fight. And basically, if you have any real smarts, it depends on how you fight her. It's more like her depending on you to cooperate with her and fight in a style where she can get her shots off. Because if she can't knock you out, she doesn't have a high boxing IQ. I just think Hannah overall she's more effective, she's more active. And I just think she'd have to knock Hannah out to beat her. I think that pretty much she'd get beat to the punch, and she'd have to fight more than she wants to. And I think that her not being able to land the big blow, she fights desperately, and she's just ineffective. And her power means nothing because she's not letting her hands go properly, and pretty much gets desperate, and that's all she's looking for, which makes her shots easier to be telegraphed. And I would go with Hannah to win that fight as well. And so, I mean, if I did Hannah versus Layla, I go with Layla. And Hannah would try to push Layla the same way that Layla's pushing her, but she's not going to beat Layla. I just think, truthfully, that Layla's just too strong, and Layla's gonna push her. And trying to fight that similar style, if she starts getting on the back foot, she's short. It's not gonna work. She's not gonna beat Layla from the outside. She has to come inside. And that's the thing about it. It's like Layla, even though she's taller than Hannah, she's a better inside fighter. She's just too busy. She's too busy with her hand speed and the fact that she can punch, and she got the gas tank to fight all night as well. Even when she's tired, she doesn't stop. I just don't think Hannah would be able to overcome that. I think Hannah would, excuse me. I think Hannah would go in there like a warrior and put up the best fight she could, but I just see her coming out short. And I just think the style would bother her, because it's like, how do I stop myself? Layla's coming in with the same pressure, but she's doing it more effectively. It's just like I said, certain styles will beat another style in a more impressive fashion. Whether they can beat that other person or not, like when I made the comparison about how Mike Tyson got rid of Alex Stewart in one round, but Alex Stewart gave Holyfield problems, but Holyfield beat Tyson. Only I don't see Gabriels beating Layla. But, but stylistically, and understand, in terms of Layla and Shields, they could fight the same people. And I think that Layla could stop people that Shields would outbox. Even though Layla can outbox them also, I think she could stop more people than Shields. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not in the same era, but if they was, I think people would, until they fight, people would go with Layla based on, you went the distance with that person. Layla stopped him. That doesn't mean she beat Shields, though. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know, like I said, out of this whole list, those are the only two fighters that I just can't pick a clear winner. Like, there's no, real clear advantage that either fighter has over the other. And they both know how to adapt and readjust. So, yeah, I don't know. It's funny, because that's two people that I really just can't say I think Shields win. If I said that, I get that spidey sense to start. But hold up, man. If I said Layla wins, same thing. Like, somebody has to win. You understand what I mean? And it depends on who executes. Who executes, obviously, and that's any fight. But I think that who executes, but like I said, who can avoid getting hit by the cleaner shots? You understand what I mean? So, and if you are getting hit with cleaner shots, but you're busier and you're landing, see, that can also, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be shocked if they fought and that fight was a draw. Then they have to do it again. I just can't pick a clear winner between the two. I don't care how much you hate Clarissa. I'm not into that goofy shit. I don't want to hear no comments about I hate her. I don't care about who you like. That's not what I'm talking about. I just can't pick a clear winner between the two of them. And feel like I'm going to go with that answer and feel like I told you, I feel strong about certain things, and I'm going to be honest of how I feel about anything. Like I said, I'm not trying to be neutral. I don't, but I just can't pick a clear winner. and feel like I wouldn't bet on that fight if they was in the same era, and I couldn't bet on that shit. Nah, I'm not betting on this one. I wouldn't feel comfortable. So yeah, that's how I see that fight right there. And oh, did I do Ann Wolfe versus Hannah? Did I do that? I don't think I did. That would be an interesting fight. And the reason is because I think Ann Wolfe versus, I don't know. Ann Wolfe and Hannah Gabriels would be interesting because I think that Hannah, what would be dangerous if she fought Ann Wolfe that way, which is because she can box and move, but I just think that with Ann Wolfe's style and the fact that she can crack, I don't know, Hannah might be a little more reluctant to come in because Hannah can box too. But the slower pace, in terms of like the less her punch output is, she have to box and not be there. Because if she does that, that gives Ann Wolfe definitely the chance she needs to knock Hannah Gabriels out, because now you're not giving her anything to have to worry about. And I think with Hannah, if she was to try to win off decision points and give her different looks, mix it up when she needs to, I don't think she needs to try to mix it up with her. It's just she has to be active. She has to keep Ann Wolfe busy where Ann Wolfe can't get her offense going. Because I think the slower the pace, I think Ann Wolfe knocks Hannah Gabriels out or beats her up and hurt her, and the ref probably winds up stopping that. Now, stylistically and with the height difference, she need to get inside and get work in. But I don't think Hannah Gabriels is strong enough to try to fight that type of style, to get in close, try to work the body, land big shots, and get, I don't think that will work for her, and understand that's not how she fights. She gets in, when she gets out, she moves. She tries to stay outside, work off her jab, and get in. Which also means she's not causing Ann Wolfe to empty her gas tank. You understand what I mean? But I think she would respect Ann Wolfe's power, because I've seen her fight other women that don't punch like Ann Wolfe, and she respected their power. She was able to outbox them, but I think at that point she's not going to get the respect from Ann Wolfe. And I think that eventually she's going to get caught with something big. She's going to get hurt. And I think that even if she got knocked down and got back up, I think that is going to cause her to be cautious, and she's going to move and not fight and do enough to actually keep Ann Wolfe off of her. So I go with Ann Wolfe. I go with Ann Wolfe by knockout or TKO. Yeah, against Hannah. I don't think I did that fight yet. Yeah, but these were interesting names up here, with the exception of, two mostly. Because of what Hannah Gabriels has done going up and down in weight. That's why I put her on the list. But the other two, Katie Taylor and Baumgardner. And this is what I'm saying. It's all because Baumgardner's calling out Shields, talking all crazy. And so people are, I want to see the fight. I want to see it. Yeah. She's talking about 147, guys. And we already know Shields. What reason does Shields have to fight at 147? Here's a champion holding titles. She wants to defend her titles. She said she has this PFL fight coming up, and then she wants to fight 3 or 4 times, she said, boxing matches this year. So what reason does she have to go in? What's there for her? So if you're going to call the fight out, like I said, you need to go to their weight class. And I'm saying this flat out. As much as I like Alicia Baumgardner as a fighter, she is too goddamn small. And her power is not going to carry over the way she think it is, in the way her fanboys are saying it. I listen, whoever Alicia fights, I want to see Alicia win. Now, if she and Shields was the fight, and it's like, may the best person win. I don't, like Shields, whoever she fights, I want to see her win. So if the two of them was the fight, I'm like, it is what it is. I never take it personal or really care, but I'm just being blatantly honest with you. She's not beating Shields. She's not beating Marshall. She wouldn't have beat no goddamn Layla. None of them. She's too small. She's too small, and her skill level, she's a good fighter. You see the improvements in her, but her skill level. You know how you hear her saying she's gonna dog walk someone? Okay. The fight against Michaela Mayer, I saw her no dog walking at all. In fact, I saw two fighters that did not leave it all in the ring. They both played it safe. In the last round, like let's go, let it all out. Let's, whatever. It just at no point did either one of them like really take over. I feel like Alicia won the fight slightly. She said, I dog walked her. I did what I wanted to do. Now, I don't know if she really truly feels like that, or she says that because she know it gets under Michaela Mayer's skin. But there was no dog walking. There was no dominance from either side. So if she truly feels like, I dominated that girl, I did, see? And again, I thought she did just enough. I thought she did enough to win. That's what I said. I always say slightly. People was talking about she lost every round. That's crap. That's complete just Alicia Baumgardner hate. But she would have to know she'd have to be a lot busier going up in weight fighting these bigger, stronger women. So the ego can make you think that you can do something that you've never had to do. I don't see her beating any of those big girls. Not even the Shadeja Green. She's just too small. She's simply just too small. And when a person doesn't fear, and you got to understand, she's not the type of person that ties up. She likes to move. Stay on the outside. And she'll throw one or two hard shots. We've seen her look sharper against Lenarda too, is why I said now she looks more complete. But she's too small. Imagine her trying to fight Ann Wolfe. Like, come on. She's too small. So on this whole list, Hannah Gabriels, Katie Taylor, and Christy Martin are the only 4 out of this whole list that could be matched up. And Hannah, because she's not a small woman, you understand? Like, she's not that tall, but like physically she's filled out. She's wound up going up to heavyweight. And we know that the women's division is, they're not deep divisions. And they don't have a whole lot of really good fighters. So it would be different for Hannah Gabriels fighting against, like she fought Clarissa. She got, completely outboxed. She managed to drop her, flash, knocked down in the first round. And she put up a good solid fight. But again, she will have just as hard of a time against an Ann Wolfe or a Layla because the strength, the size, it's different. Clarissa is a sharp, smart boxer. She can outbox you all night long, But, and the way that Hannah Gabriels fights, she would have, it's like Floyd Mayweather can outbox you, beat you up, make you look stupid. Now he chooses to not pull the trigger. He chooses to embarrass you and outclass you. But Pacquiao will go in there and fight someone that Floyd fought and beat them in a more severe way. You understand what I mean? If you compare Clarissa to like Layla, that's what I mean. I think people, like, well, I said that already. Yeah, the people that Clarissa could outbox and outclass, so can Layla, but she also will stop those people. You know, more than likely she'd stop them. And I couldn't see Hannah Gabriels making it to the final bell. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't see that. But anyway, that was fun. That was fun. Just something to do. I've done this before, but I think with the guys, I forgot who I had on here, but I think I did it with the heavyweights a long time ago. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about who y'all match up with out here. How would y'all see the fights going? And like I always say, there's no wrong or right answer, man. It's because it's with what we already got, then we have a right answer because we got an outcome. But I do these based on, like I said, not so much who I like, but just the way I feel the fights would go. You know. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Never fall in love with lies. Remember the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.